Most people sleep about 8 hours per night, and that's also the recommendation for adults, about 7 to 9 hours. And if you follow this advice, then you're going to spend nearly 1/3 of your life being asleep. That's quite a long time. It definitely makes you think about how much time are we actually spending in this dreamlike state, and how less time we can spend being awake. I tried polyphasic sleeping, and I slept for only about 4 hours throughout the entire 24-hour period, and it was quite interesting, and it was definitely eye-opening. In this video, I'm gonna tell you about my polyphasic sleeping experience, when I slept only 4 hours per day for 100 days.
I don't sleep. You don't sleep. I wait.
Despite his high productivity and inventions, Thomas Edison supposedly slept only 3 to 4 hours a night, and called sleep a waste of time. To solve his fear of wasting time while sleeping, Thomas Edison followed a polyphasic sleeping schedule that incorporates frequent short power naps throughout the day. Polyphasic sleep involves having several sleep cycles throughout the 24-hour period. In essence, you sleep fewer hours in one sleep cycle, but you do it more frequently. This type of behavior can be found in many animal species and even in some past societies. And many geniuses like Leonardo da Vinci, Napoleon Bonaparte, and Nikola Tesla practice something similar. And that's why I wanted to try out polyphasic sleeping and see if it works. So I did it in my last year of college, and I followed it for 100 days. So what happened? How did I feel? Surprisingly, I didn't feel awful, and I didn't feel like dying, and I adapted to it quite fast. Maybe the first 3 to 5 days were slightly offbeat and sluggish, but after that I got used to it quite fast, and I didn't notice a lot of difference. But it was never something unbearable, and I woke up fast, and I didn't need stimulants to wake myself up or keep myself awake. My creativity and productivity didn't suffer either. Like, I was still able to write every day, I was still able to create videos, I was still able to do my college studies and those other things without seeing a drop-off in my performance. Edison himself said that he didn't dream almost at all during the night. He was so efficient with his sleep that he didn't need it. Edison had multiple short power naps throughout the day. He was renowned for having sleeping cots in almost all of his vicinities, like the library, office, laboratory, and park. Uberman sleep is where things go crazy. It's the most commonly attempted but most failed schedule. You get rid of core sleep entirely and have 6 or 8 20-minute naps a day. This is extremely difficult, but it'll also give you drastic gains in time because you'll be sleeping a total of 2 to 3 hours a day. Dymaxion sleep is even more difficult than Uberman. You sleep 4 times a day for 30 minutes. Some form of polyphasic sleeping can be useful for sharpening your mind and being more productive. You're going to gain a lot more wakefulness time, and you will also make your brain work more sharply because it's somewhat sleep deprived, and therefore you can get more creative thoughts, and you will also be more diligent with work. You kind of have this heightened sense of focus and alertness, which is probably because of the increased adrenaline and increased cortisol. That everyone can benefit from some form of polyphasic sleeping. I still incorporate power naps into my day quite frequently, and I do it almost every day. If you sleep at irregular times and for indefinite lengths, then it can make you not fall asleep at night, which is why you want to be quite strategic with your naps and have them at the right time. So, in conclusion, I tried polyphasic sleeping, where I slept for only 4 hours a day for 100 days, and it was quite interesting. It was a good skill to develop, and it definitely taught me how to sleep better, how to sleep at, these different kinds of positions, and how to sleep just like that. You fall asleep faster and condition your brain to cut down on some of the light sleep without sacrificing deep sleep.
You have loosened the normal connection between your spirit and your brain, and that allows another spirit, other entities, other minds to interpose themselves and begin to tick off the neurons in your brain, create a universe of illusion. Alter state of consciousness, like yogis and witch doctors have been practicing. It loosens the normal connection between your spirit and your brain, and of course if the hypnotists make all kinds of suggestions, make you think things are happening that are not happening, make you think you have powers that you don't, experiences that you haven't, even implant memories, other beings, if they could also do the same thing. I believe that it's demonic. I think all of the evidence indicates this.
Devils have doctrines, and they're very consistent. And you can travel around the world as I have done, you can investigate this sort of thing, and you will find that the same message comes out of Ouija boards, the same message comes out of the mouths of mediums, it comes out of hypnotic trances, it comes out of LSD trips, and it's very consistent doctrines of devils, and giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. The demons don't go by those rules. They don't care who hypnotizes. You put yourself in a state of consciousness where the hypnotist can control you. Don't you think other minds can control you? You have opened yourself to demonic delusion. And you can not only be regressed into the childhood, it can take them right into the womb and come out with factual memories of the birthing process, in spite of the scientific fact that the myelin sheathing in the brain of the prenatal, natal, and early postnatal infant is not sufficiently developed to carry memories. Well, where do the memories come from? Same place they come from when you regress them right on through the womb into prior lives. And they come out with factual data of lives they lived all over this earth. The non-academic psychologists of the East. The gurus, the yogis, the swamins, the shamans, the witch doctors, the medicine men, they're psychologists, he says. Yes, indeed, they are psychologists. And we had a test not too long ago where they matched Western psychiatrists with witch doctors from the East. And it came out a dead heat. The only difference was that the witch doctors released their patients sooner and charged them less. I'm just telling you the facts. He says, what we're lately discovering, the non-academic psychologists of the East have always known, we in the West must learn it too.
These demons of renown, the Nephilim, because they are telepathic, they present themselves in different forms. They have access to your mind.
What's their greatest fear?
Losing the human race. Losing the human race because we are their home life. We are their food. They suck energy, the parasitic. They extract fluids and all kinds of bodily things, mainly fluids. They synthesize those and they use them as a drug. They will feed on people while they're sleeping at night. I think that's why chronic fatigue is becoming more and more common, because they will, and if it's not too harsh, you'll be okay. You're okay. I mean, I've had it happen to me all the time. It's like a light tingling feeling in the energy center, almost like a little vibration, smooth vibration. Somebody's sucking energy. If it gets really intense, they can get your heartbeat going. And what they often do, and I've learned this from that Dave person, my friends, is they'll put you in a very vivid dream. And while you're having this very vivid dream, they're doing all kinds of things to you, but your mind is distracted, so you don't wake up. They can also put you into a situation where you're not capable of moving. What else? They can do that. And then they often pull people out of the body at night and then mess with them, wipe their memory, put them in, and they wake up, and most of the time they have no idea. I've heard this many times.
I'm going to tell you something a little bit different about the alien species. The bad news ones, there are 9 races of alien populations. To look at a human being as a bag of food. They're not cannibals. They don't eat the flesh and the bones and all that kind of stuff. They use the glandular secretions of animals and human beings as a mixture of the vitamins for their food. They get high off of our adrenal gland substances called adrenochrome. It's something like cocaine to them. Now, what can we do about it? Right now, if we do nothing, we can do nothing about it, and it'll continue to go on. Basically, we'll be led in the dark.
We are their food. They suck energy, the parasitic. They extract fluids and all kinds of bodily things, mainly fluids. They synthesize those and they use them as a drug.
They use the glandular secretions of animals and human beings as a mixture of the vitamins for their food. They get high off of our adrenal gland substances called adrenochrome. It's something like cocaine to them.
We are their home life. We are their food. They suck energy, parasitic. They extract...
I intend on giving you power. Believe it or not, we are attacking ourselves. Sleeping on a bed goes completely against sleeping, if that's the case. Because if I sleep on a bed, humans was never supposed to sleep on beds. If anything, we were supposed to sleep like this. All I'm trying to say is, humans are supposed to sleep on hard surfaces, guys. When you sleep on a cushion, what you're doing to yourself, you're putting all your weight on your flesh, on your skin, on your muscles. And you basically leave your skeleton not engaged. Now that I'm on the floor, all my weight is where? Is being in my skeleton. My skeleton is bearing my weight. And now my muscles are relaxed. There's no tension. I'm able to sleep. I'm able to let go. But if I'm on the bed, it's the complete opposite. My muscles are working while my skeleton is not even engaged. See what you're doing to yourself. If I'm sleeping on this soft cushion, once again, my skeleton, my spine is not supporting my weight. It's my muscles. And at night, one of the most important things is circulation. You need a free flow of circulation in your body. And right now, blood can't circulate because why? Instead of my blood vessels being free, it has to carry my weight. It has to be stressed. But if I'm on a hard surface, I'm engaging my spine, allowing there to be a free circulation of energy. But here's something that I've noticed. Everybody you know has a misalignment. And it's so prevalent when they're old. People start to walk like this. They can't even move. They basically walk like zombies. And this is because of years of sleeping on beds, years of being on cushions. This doesn't happen instantly, it happens gradually. And over years, this happens to everybody you see. Try to get back into sleeping on hard surfaces. Sleep on surfaces that mimic nature. Because I'm engaging my joints, I'm actually allowing it to do its job. But on a cushion, it will be impossible for me to engage these joints this way. This is why you need to return to the hard surface. A lot of people go to yoga classes, they say, man, I feel so relaxed when I go to yoga. Or they go to some type of therapy, I feel so relaxed. Why do you feel relaxed? It's because most of the time, their ass is on the floor. And when you're on the floor, your skeleton is supporting your weight and your muscles can finally relax. So, if you want to sleep properly, sleep on a surface as close as possible to nature. Sleep on a hard surface, but get away from cushions. Any type of cushions, run away from it. And another thing you need to know, because of the years of sleeping on beds, right now your spine could be misaligned. Your spine could have a misalignment, and sleeping on the floor might be difficult at first. It might be unnatural. And this is because your spine is used to sleeping on your bed. Your spine is used to being in that unnatural position. So you kind of have to work, a little bit just to get accustomed to a hard surface. And right now, to be honest, I can sleep like this comfortably. It's nothing. It's easy. Trust me. If I'm on this bullshit, covered like a dead man, what's up, guys? How I look in my coffin? This goes against nature, basically. And it's like, you want to sleep, you want your body to regenerate, you want your body to relax, you want your body to grow. But all these things, covers, bed, doesn't allow your body to do that. This is something that we all have to transcend. This is something that we all have to come back and really think about it. Is this normal? Is this the way nature intended? Please avoid the bed. I'm just bringing awareness to some of the things that we do in our society that is everywhere, but it's not of our favor. Sleep more naturally. Avoid this.
An unknown scientist is about to make a discovery that should have changed everything.
He can take control of any animal, all with the power of his mind.
I exchange energy with the animals, and then they go to sleep.
I heard you have the ability to put animals in a trance. Is that true?
Yes, I can use my chi to make them fall asleep. I put my fingers together, and then there's an exchange of chi between the palm of my hand and the animal. The strength of the energy grows, and eventually the animal relaxes and goes to sleep.
Can you put any animal to sleep?
Yes, I can make any animal go to sleep.
So, what if we don't sleep? A study conducted in Italy looked at mammalian brains during sleep. They noticed that in kept awake brains, the glial cells were functioning in an elevated way. It was the kept awake brains that surprised researchers the most. In these cells, the astrocyte devoured the synapses instead of rewire them. The synapses involved were the largest and the oldest ones, which could help clean out harmful debris and remove worn out connections in order for the new ones to thrive.